All right, I'm with Kathleen, and we're going to be talking about academics. So Kathleen, can you tell us what the classes are like over in Rome?
The classes were a lot of fun. I was in 2 upper-level history classes, and every day we would meet our professor at the classroom, and he would talk a little bit about what we were going to learn that day, and then we would hop on a bus and go there. And so it was really nice because if we were learning about the Colosseum, the ticket price would be included in our fee for that class. So our teacher would buy our tickets, we would go in, and he would basically give us a tour of whatever we were learning about, and so we'd get to know the real story and the significance of everything, and it was just a lot of fun. It felt like we were just touring Rome, but we were learning at the same time.
So some experiential learning, not just classroom settings.
It was really hands-on. The only time we were in the classroom was one time of the whole 4 weeks I was there. So.
Okay. So how long are you at school on the average day? Not long.
No, not long. There's a lot of free time. Our classes were a little longer than they are here, but that's just because, of course, it takes a while to get to and from places. So that was kind of our transit time, but it didn't even feel like class, and so it didn't feel like it was a long, boring lecture like you might have in a history class here. It was very hands-on and exciting.
Okay. How difficult were the classes?
Mine were not very challenging. My professor was really laid back, and just at the end he had us write papers on a topic that we were interested in, and it was a few pages long, and it was a research paper, so I've had experience writing research papers. It wasn't super challenging. I know a lot of the other classes, the Italian classes had tests that were a little challenging, but nothing like you're going to fail or anything. They just want you to be learning and picking things up as you go. And then the other class, some of the classes had presentations. Like if one class went to the Vatican, they would do a presentation on a piece of artwork. Each student would do their presentation, and that would be their grade. So pretty easy projects.
Do you have a hard time on tests?
So I didn't have tests. My friends that were in Italian classes, they had to study for them, but that's pretty typical, but I don't think they had a very hard time with them.
And how do you earn your grade in a class?
For some classes, the teachers liked you to turn things in. Like for one of the drawing architecture classes, you would turn in a portfolio as you go of sketches that you had made about subjects that you were learning about. For instance, if you went to the Colosseum, you might sketch the Colosseum and then turn that in for a few points. But I earned my grades through the research papers that I turned in.
All right. So are the teachers over there, the professors, are they approachable outside the classroom?
Yes, Amelia was my best friend. They know us all by name. I almost cried when we said goodbye at the final dinner. The professors are amazing. They are so knowledgeable, and I feel like very approachable. A lot of the times we would go to dinner or lunch with our professors, especially on the Florence trip. It's an overnight trip, and one of the professors goes with you, and he was great. He just hung out with us the whole time and went to dinner and lunch, and they're very approachable and a lot of fun, so they're great.
How well can people speak English that you interact with over there?
The professors speak great English. I never had a problem with that. I took a lot of Italian before I left, and honestly, it didn't even do me that much good. I picked up a lot while I was there because I was trying to, but if you had never heard a single word except for ciao in your whole life, you're going to be fine. Especially in Rome, a lot of people speak English. If you're traveling outside of Rome to maybe smaller cities, you might need to pick up a few more phrases, but you're not going to have too hard of a time getting around in Rome, for sure.
Okay. So where do I find lunch during a school day?
Lunch places are everywhere. If you want to do something cheap, basically their fast food there is delicious pizza and a cold Coke in a can, and you can eat for under 7 or 8 euros for lunch at some really good places that are very close to the school. There's a huge piazza nearby, and then there's a couple little places that are tucked in to eat. Or if you wanted to go to a nicer place, you want to take your professor out to lunch or something like that, there's a lot of sit-down restaurants in the Piazza Navona, which is just about 5 minutes from class. And the Vatican is also 10 minutes from class too, so if you wanted to go eat in St. Peter's Square, you could do that too.
Cool, thank you very much.
Sure.